Hi, my dear children. Wish you happiness and success in your life. Let's start today's class with a silent prayer. Today, let us learn new lesson. Lesson 6, Solids, Liquids and Gases. What are solids, liquids and gases? We have already learned in our lower classes what are solids, liquids and gases. These are the three forms of matter. So, what is matter? Everything around us is matter. Matter is everything present around us. Or we can say that any substance that occupies space and has mass is called matter. In lower classes, we have learned the definition for matter. Matter is any substance that occupies space and has mass. Matter is made up of very tiny particles called molecules. So molecules are the very tiny particles. Molecules are the very tiny particles. Each molecule is further made up of particles known as atoms. So atoms are the smallest unit of matter. Atoms are the smallest unit of matter. Matter is made up of lots of very tiny particles called molecules. Molecules are further made up of particles called atoms. So atoms are the smallest unit of matter. The state of matter depends on the arrangement of its constituent molecules. The state of matter depends on the arrangement of molecules. So we have studied solids, liquids and gases, the three states or three forms of matter. So these three states or three forms depend on the arrangement of its constituent molecules. The examples for solids are chair, book, fan. Examples for liquids are water, oil, ink. Examples for gases are oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. So we have already studied the three states of matter, solids, liquids and gases, and we have learned examples for solids, liquids and gases. So solid, liquid and gas are the three states of matter. The scientists have discovered two more states. The fourth one, plasma. Fifth one, Bose-Einstein condensate. Scientists have been discovered two more states, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. What do you mean by plasma state? Plasma state occur high temperature in stars and lightning bolts. What do you mean by lightning bolts? Lightning bolts means during rainy season you might have observed lightning and thundering. Discharge of lightning accompanied by thunder. That is lightning bolts. So plasma occur in high temperature in stars and lightning bolts. Plasma state can be found in plasma TV and fluorescent light bulbs. Plasma state can also be seen in plasma TV and fluorescent light bulb. Now let us see the next state, Bose-Einstein condensate. This is a state that occur at super low temperature. Bose-Einstein condensate is a state that occur super low temperature. So we have seen five states of matter, solid, liquid, gas, plasma and Bose-Einstein condensate. We have seen different states of matter. Now in a detailed way, let us learn about it. First of all, let us see solid. Solid is a state of matter, and we have seen the state of matter depends on the arrangement of its constituent molecules. So in solids, the molecules are tightly packed. The molecules are tightly packed. As the molecules are tightly packed, there is no space between the molecules. There is no space between the molecules. As there is no space between the molecules cannot move around. In solids, molecules are tightly packed. There is no space between the molecules. As there is no space between the molecules cannot move around. Because of this, solids have a fixed shape and a definite volume. What do you mean by definite volume? Definite volume means amount of space that an object or substance fill. In solids, molecules are tightly packed. There is no gap between the molecules, so molecules cannot move around. Because of this, solids have a fixed shape and a definite volume. Definite volume means amount of space that an object or substance fills. Some solids' shape can be changed by applying force. Sponge, rubber band and clay can change their shape. By applying force, we can change the shape of some solids like sponge, rubber band and clay. Sponge and rubber band can regain their shape. Regain means get back their shape. Regain means get back. So, sponge and rubber band can regain their shape, get back their shape. When we apply force on the sponge and rubber band, it changes its shapes, and when the force is removed, it can regain its shape. But the clay does not regain shape. By applying force, clay changes its shape, but it cannot regain its shape. Sponge, rubber band and clay are examples for solids. Now, crystals like sugar and copper sulfate are examples for solids. If you observe these crystals by using magnifying lens or microscope, we can see their shape. Copper sulfate is a crystal, and copper sulfate is also called as bluestone. It is widely used as copper salt. It is mainly used to kill fungus and bacteria on the crop. Now let us see the next state of matter, liquid. In liquids, molecules are loosely packed. Loosely packed means some gap between the molecules. There is some gap between the molecules. As there is some gap between the molecules can move around. Thus, liquids do not have a fixed shape. They take the shape of the container into which they are poured. Liquids can flow. Liquids have a definite volume. What do you mean by definite volume? Amount of space that an object or substance fill. So, liquids have a definite volume. They do not have a fixed shape. Milk, water, oil, ink. These are some of the examples for liquids. Now let us see the third state of matter, gases. In gases, molecules are very loosely packed. There is a lot of space between the molecules. There is lot of space between the molecules. Molecules are loosely packed. As the molecules are loosely packed, there is lot of space between the molecules. So, molecules can freely move around. Thus, gases do not have a fixed shape. Gases can flow very easily and fill up the entire space available to them. In gases, molecules are loosely packed. There is a lot of space between the molecules. As there is space between the molecules can freely move around. Thus, gases do not have a fixed shape. Gases can flow very easily. They fill up the entire space available to them. The examples for gases, air and cooking gas are the mixture of gases. Now we have seen the specialities of solid, liquid and gas.
Now, let us perform an activity to identify the shape and know the volume of liquids. Click each tab to know more. Collect different containers of various shapes like beaker, conical flask and cylindrical jar. Take some water in a glass. Pour the same amount of water in each container. Mark the level of water and observe the shapes. Repeat the same process with milk and oil. Observe the shapes. In this activity, we observe that liquids take different shapes based on the container, whereas the volume remains the same. Finally, we learn that liquids have no fixed shape but have a fixed volume, and also liquids can flow easily from one container to another container. So liquids are also called fluids.
Now let us learn the properties of solids, liquids and gases. Now let us see the properties of three states of matter. First of all, solids. Solids, they have a fixed shape. They have a definite volume. What do you mean by definite volume? Amount of space that an object or substance fills. They do not flow. Solids do not flow. In solids, molecules are tightly packed. In solids, molecules are tightly packed. As the molecules are tightly packed, solids have a fixed shape. Now let us see liquids. Liquids do not have a fixed shape. They take the shape of the container into which they are poured. They have a fixed volume. They can flow from high level to low level. In liquids, molecules are loosely packed. So the molecules can move around. And this property enables liquids to flow. As the molecules are loosely packed, the liquids can flow easily. Now let us see gases. Gases do not have a fixed shape of their own. If we keep the gas in an empty container, it takes all the available space in a container. So gases, they do not have a fixed shape of their own. We keep the gas in an empty container, it takes all the available space in that container. Gases do not have a fixed volume. They take the volume of the container. Gases can flow easily in all directions. Gases can flow very easily in all directions. In gases, molecules are very loosely packed. In gases, molecules are very loosely packed. That means the presence of lot of space between the molecules enable the gases move around very easily. So we have seen the properties of solids, liquids and gases. Solids, they have fixed shape. Liquids, they do not have fixed shape. Gases, they do not have fixed shape. Definite volume, fixed volume, do not have fixed volume. Solids do not flow. Liquids can flow from high level to low level. Gases can flow easily to all directions. Solids, molecules are tightly packed. That means there is no gap between the molecules. Molecules are tightly packed. There is no in solids, molecules are tightly packed. That means you can see this is a single molecule, other molecule. When molecules are arranged, they are very tightly packed. There is no gap between the molecules. There is no gap between the molecules, and this property gives a fixed shape to the solids. Now, in liquids, molecules are loosely packed. It means there is gap between the molecules. Here you can see gap between the molecules. Here you can see the gap, so the molecules can move around. And this enables liquids to flow. And in gases you can see molecules are very loosely packed. In gases you can see molecules are very loosely packed. And you can see the molecules can move around very easily. Molecules can very freely move around. So we have seen the properties of solids, liquids and gases. Compare and study so it will be easy for you to remember.
Arrangement of molecules in the three states of matter. The arrangement of molecules in the three states of matter is shown here. Place your cursor on each box representing the molecular arrangement and click to view the description. Solids. You can see here that in solids, the molecules are closely packed. They have least amount of intermolecular spaces. The force of attraction between the molecules is very strong, and free movement of molecules is not possible. That is why solids are rigid and retain their shape. Liquids. Observe that in liquids the molecules are loosely held. There are large intermolecular spaces in liquids. The force of attraction between the molecules is small, and movement of molecules is possible. That is why liquids are not rigid and have no shape of their own. They take the shape of the container. Gases. In a gas, the molecules are separated from one another by wide spaces. The force of attraction between the molecules is the least, and the molecules have maximum freedom of movement. Hence, a gas has neither a definite shape nor a definite volume. Gases and liquids are called fluids because of their ability to flow.
Now let us see what is a solution. When two substances are combined together in such a way that they evenly spread and mix each other, it is called solution. Now let us see what is a solution. When two substances are combined together in such a way that they evenly spread and mix each other. Evenly spread means equally spread and mix. Sugar or salt dissolved in water is an example for solution. Solute and solvent are the two substances that make a solution. So we can say that solute and solvent make a solution. The substance that get dissolved in a solution is called solute. So what is a solvent? The substance that dissolve the solute particles into it to make a solution. So we have seen what is a solute and solvent. Solute and solvent make a solution. Solute and solvent make a solution. So what is a solute? Substance that get dissolved in a solution. The substance that get dissolved in a solution is called solute. What is a solvent? Substance that dissolve the solute particles into it to make a solution. The substance that dissolve the solute particles into it to make a solution is called solvent. Solute and solvent together make a solution. Now let us see some examples. Solution, sugar solution and salt solution. From this we have to find out which is a solute and solvent. First of all, let us see sugar solution. The sugar solution, sugar is a solute. Sugar is a solute and water is a solvent. What is a solute? The substance that dissolves in a solution. So the substance that dissolves in a solution is sugar. Now what is solvent? The substance that dissolves solute particles into it to make a solution. So water is a solvent. Water dissolves the solute particles. Water dissolves the sugar particles. So water is a solvent. Water and sugar makes a sugar solution. Water and sugar makes a sugar solution. Now let us see salt solution. Salt solution. Salt is a solute. Water is a solvent. Solute is a substance that gets dissolved in a solution. Salt gets dissolved in a solution. What is solvent? Water. Here water is a solvent. Solvent is a substance that dissolves the solute particles into it to make a solution. Here which solute particles are dissolved in water? Salt particles. Salt particles are dissolved in water to make a salt solution. So here we have seen two types of solutions, sugar solution and salt solution. In sugar solution, sugar is a solute, water is a solvent. In salt solution, salt is a solute, water is a solvent. And we have learned in 4th grade, water is called as universal solvent because most of the solute dissolves in it. So, water is considered as universal solvent. Now, let us see different types of solution. Based on the solute and solvent present in a solution, there are different types of solution. Let us see which are the different types of solution. First one, solid in liquid. Solid in liquid. Example for solid in liquid, sugar water or salt water. In this example, the solute is a solid sugar or salt. Solvent is a liquid water. Now let us see the second type of solution, gas in liquid. Gas in liquid. What is the example for gas in liquid solution? Soda water or soft drinks. Soda water or soft drink. It's an example for gas in liquid solution. Now in this example, which is a solute? Gas, carbon dioxide is a solute. Gas, carbon dioxide is a solute and solvent is a liquid water. Solvent is a liquid water. So in soda water or soft drink, gas, carbon dioxide is a solute, liquid water is a solvent. Now let us see the third type of solution, gas in gas. Gas in gas solution example is air. In the air, solute is a gas oxygen, solvent is a gas nitrogen. Now let us see the next type of solution, liquid in liquid. Liquid in liquid solution example is alcohol and water. In alcohol and water example, solute is a liquid alcohol, solvent is a liquid water. So we have seen different types of solution, solid in liquid, gas in liquid, gas in gas, liquid in liquid. 4 types of solution. Examples for each type of solution, solute and solvent present in each type of solution.
Let's look at a couple examples and see if we can't make it a little easy to understand. First, we have coffee. The solvent is the water. The solute is the soluble portions of the coffee, the sugar that you can stir in, and then the cream. Next, you have a cup of tea. The solvent is the water. The solute is the soluble portions of the tea along with the sugar. And gases can even be dissolved. In this example, as the water moves over the rocks, the solvent is the water and the solute is the oxygen that is dissolved into the water.
Now let us see what are soluble and insoluble substance. There are 2 types of substance, soluble substance and insoluble substance. First of all, let us see soluble substance. Substances that dissolve completely in a liquid are called soluble substance. Soluble substances are the substances that dissolve completely in a liquid to form a solution. Example, sugar and salt. Now let us see what are insoluble substance. Insoluble substance are the substances that do not dissolve in a liquid. Insoluble substances are the substances that do not dissolve in a liquid. Example, chalk, sand. So we have seen 2 types of substances, soluble substances and insoluble substances. Soluble substances, substances that dissolve completely in a liquid to form a solution. Example, salt, sugar. Insoluble substance, substances that do not dissolve in a liquid. Example, chalk and sand. Now let us see separation of liquids from solids. Soluble and insoluble substance can be separated by different methods. Now let us see separation of soluble substance. We can remove soluble substances from the liquid by boiling and distillation. We can remove soluble substances from the liquid by boiling and distillation. First of all, let us see what is boiling. Solution containing soluble substances such as salt and sugar is heated till the water evaporates. When the water is evaporated, the salt and sugar is left behind. And if any other particles are there along with the salt and sugar, these particles also will be left. The water is lost through boiling. So by boiling, we can separate the soluble substances from a liquid. Now let us see the second method, distillation. This is a method performed in laboratories. By using this method, we can remove the soluble substance from the liquid. So to remove soluble substance from the liquid, we can use a method called distillation. This distillation method can be performed in laboratories. Pure water collected by distillation is called distilled water. Pure water collected by distillation is called distilled water. Through distillation process, we collect the pure water and that pure water is called distilled water. Distilled water is the purest form of water. Why distilled water is called as purest form of water? As it does not contain any impurities. Distilled water does not contain impurities, so it is called as the purest form of water. How this distilled water is made? Through distillation process. Distilled water is used in laboratories, car batteries and in medicines. When we buy medicines, you might have noticed, distilled water will be getting to make the syrup. To make this powdered medicine to the syrup, we add this distilled water. So the distilled water does not contain any impurities. It is the purest form of water and this distilled water is made through distillation process. The drinking water contains minerals, but the distilled water does not contain any minerals and minerals are very important for our body. Distilled water is not suitable for drinking. In the textbook you can see the distillation process. This distillation process is generally performed in the laboratories. To conduct the distillation process, we need round-bottomed flask. In the round-bottomed flask, we take impure water. We heat this impure water. When we heat this impure water, water from the impure water changes into water vapor. Then this round-bottomed flask is connected to the condenser. What is the duty of condenser? Condenser will cool. So the water changes into water vapor and this water vapor will be going through this condenser. So the water vapor will be cooled inside the condenser and the pure water will be collected inside the conical flask. And this is the distillation process.
Separation of soluble impurities from a solution can be done by the process of boiling. Boiling. When a liquid is heated to the extent that it begins to change into its gaseous state, the liquid is said to be boiling. If salt solution, also called brine, is boiled, it is observed that after some time the water changes to its gaseous form, leaving behind a residue of salt in the vessel.
Distillation is a method of obtaining pure liquid from a solution. In this process, the solution is heated so that the liquid evaporates. Let's understand this with an experiment. Take some salt water in a retort and heat the retort till the steam comes out of it. we will see the steam getting collected inside the beaker in the form of droplets of water. The steam condenses and reaches the beaker, and the salt left behind in the retort. This method of separation of soluble solids from liquids is called distillation.
So dear children, today we have seen forms of matter, properties of solids, liquids and gases, solution, different types of solution, soluble and insoluble substance, separation of soluble substance by boiling and distillation method. So you have to read the textbook, understand the topics, study well. Thank you. May God bless you.